is the $20 a barrel oil?
And I'm here to ask you when you're going to come on and talk to Bill about it.
What did I say?
What did I say?
Stay on message.
That would be some real news.
That would be some real news, wouldn't it?
That's a news show.
If Bill Moyers came on the show where he asked tough questions. Listen,
you know what,
we saw the
I want to ask Bill
interview. We know that you don't like talking to controversial people
wait a
and
minute.
doing tough interviews, but come on, Bill will give you a fair shake.
Is Bill O'Reilly controversial?
Of course he's provocative.
I've asked him on my show. I want to ask Bill O'Reilly why he looked in the camera and said anybody who spoke against the invasion was a bad American. I want to know.
You're more than welcome to come on the show.
No, I first asked Bill O'Reilly on my show, and if Bill O'Reilly
will do your show, but you tried to play games with him, you know it.
I don't play games.
Come on, Mr. Moyers.
I don't play games.
Sure you don't. You were just telling a lie about you and a nice conversation in Washington.
No, I was talking about the guy who ambushed me in front of my apartment.
No, in Washington,
No, in my apartment.
That's your old friend
Jesse. Oh, my old friend Jesse. Ask him to tell you what he told me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. It was Jesse who ambushed me in front of my apartment as I was on the way to a doctor's appointment.
You and I talked to
You came up to me in Washington.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? I'll have you on my show. You go ask Bill O'Reilly to get you an appointment with Rupert Murdoch and ask him, Rupert, you said one reason for going to war in Iraq was so we would get $20 a barrel oil. Oil is now $137. It's wrecking the economy. Now, and then you come on my show and talk about it. Once you get Bill O'Reilly to talk about Rupert Murdoch to answer, is Rupert Murdoch responsible to the American people? Is Rupert Murdoch responsible for what he said? Yes, you do.
For Fox News. I'm here to ask a couple questions for Bill O'Reilly to you.
Let Bill come.
Better than that.
You know what? Let Bill come. Does he ever do any more reporting? Did he ever do any reporting? Is Bill a reporter?
He did a current affair.
A current affair, that's right. Why doesn't Bill do his own reporting? Why does he ask a guy like you to come out and represent a media empire that wanted a war in Iraq so we could have $20 a barrel oil, and now we got $137 a barrel oil?
We've invited you on time and time again.
I'll invite you right now with 20 people as my witness. Come on my show next Friday night. No, I won't. Your producers or your reporters. I have producers and reporters on all the time. Come on my show next Friday. Bill doesn't have the courage. Wait a minute. Tell me your name again. Porter. Bill doesn't have the courage to come on my show. I think you might. And I will promise you.
Come on Bill's show, Mr. Moyers. You
I
say
asked
things that
him
aren't true about him. When you did that documentary, and you're telling things that aren't true about my conversation with you in Washington.
No. So we didn't really have a
Bill's show and hash all this out.
We're taping this. So for the first time since Fox News has ambushed me, we're going to be able to judge your editing against what these people are saying. And I promise you, live and without any editing. Porter, come on my show. Let's look at what you put on your air, because your mind was made up before you came out here.
We came to ask you what you're doing at a partisan left-wing conference,
Porter,
and you haven't answered that question.
How many of you folks think Porter ought to come on my broadcast?
Definitely.
Porter, do it.
How about next Friday?
Go, Porter.
Porter, how about next Friday? All right. If you can't come on my show, send somebody below you. Send Bill O'Reilly. No. Bill O'Reilly gave up reporting. I'm not a classic guy. I'm a reporter. You know what we reporters are like, don't you? You're one of us. Bill is not. Bill is not a journalist. He's a pugilist. You know that. So will you come on my show?
As soon as you come on Bill's show, we can ask him.
On the record, I asked Bill O'Reilly to come on my show first.
You like to beat up on producers instead of answer questions from a tough journalist like O'Reilly.
I like
to pick on me. and not come on and answer the questions and even raise your issues with me.
I like to honor.
Do that, Mr. Moyers.
I like to honor the people who do the real work in journalism, and that's producers and reporters.
Right.
It isn't anchors. It isn't blowhards. It isn't blowhards.
That's you.
It's the people like you who do the real work. And you know what? It's the people like you, I want to say on the record, because we're taping this, it's the people like you who go back, and your editors and your Bill O'Reilly will take what you do and make you look where you know. And that's unfair to journalists. It's unfair to you. What you are asked to do for Rupert Murdoch and Bill O'Reilly
I'm doing
is
something for the
unfair
O'Reilly
to
factor.
you.
And you still haven't answered the question.
Oh, I have answered the question.
You
Have I
answered the question.
He
Have you
wants to
said
know.
no?
I have answered the question.
You
Have I
answered the question.
He
Have you
wants to
said
know.
no? I don't have the courage to come on
Wait a
O'Reilly's
minute,
show.
I said I would come on the O'Reilly show after he accepts my invitation to come on my
Well,
broadcast.
he
And we'll
agreed
do
to
it
do your
live.
show, and
No,
you
he
tried to
hasn't.
play games, and you know it. You're
If
being
Bill,
disingenuous.
if Bill O'Reilly wants to lie, let him lie. You don't need to lie for him.
I'm not lying for him.
Well, he said he'd come on my show.
You guys talked about doing your program, and you tried to play games with him, and that's why it didn't happen.
What kind of game?
I'm not going to get into the
No,
back
what-
and forth.
well,
I'm
come
not going
on.
to get into the back
What
and forth.
kind of game?
Why don't you come on O'Reilly's show
What?
and you can talk about your problems
What
with you,
kind of
and you
game?
can talk about
This-
your issues with O'Reilly.
On the record, I will come on the O'Reilly show first when Rupert Murdoch has explained why we're not getting $20 a barrel oil for the Iraq War he said would deliver.
Yeah.
Secondly, I'll come on Bill O'Reilly's show after he accepts my invitation to be on my show, unedited, discuss a whole hour. I'll give him a whole hour.
Wow.
And then I will come on Bill O'Reilly's show.
Wow.
And you go back and
Sounds
take that
reasonable.
message, but let's see if that message gets on the air. And if it doesn't, if you want a job, I may have some recommendations for you.
Hey Porter, I work with the American News Project. Can I talk to you for a second? I just want to know what your mission is here. Journalist to journalist. Just talk to my cameraman, please. Come on, we can use the same technique. I'm just journalism.
Hey, Porter, how are you feeling about that conversation with Bill Moyers?
I'm just wondering, let's have an honest interview like the 15 minutes you just had with Bill. What was your assignment today? What was your assignment today? What was your assignment today?
I just told you.
To get in.
To talk to Mr. Moyers and ask him a couple questions, which I did.
Right. Did you have a preconceived idea of what he was going to say?
I don't understand the question. I asked him what he was doing. You saw the interview.
Yeah, actually, we're going to edit it.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, do you consider what you just did journalism?
Mr. Moyers just called me one.
Yeah, but I'm asking your opinion. Do you feel like you're a good journalist?
I was perfectly respectful and honest.
Or you're coming here to get facts? You're coming here to set up a premise, to stump, to tease?
I was there to ask Mr. Moyers what he was doing here, and if and when he'd come on O'Reilly's show, instead of preaching to the choir.
Well, I'm not a choir. I'm an objective
Like you're doing
journalist,
here.
but
No, you're
I've
not.
never
You're in
used
my
this
way.
technique before right now.
Well, you're doing it.
Yeah, I am, because I'm learning from the master.
I'm not putting my hands on you. Just stay, put your hands up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just wondering what you're trying to achieve with this kind of line of questioning.
How many times do you want me to tell you?
Huh? How many times you asked Bill the same question? I just want to know one thing. Is what you're doing journalism? That's all I want to know.
You just saw it.
This is journalism?
It felt like you were setting up an
Moyers' question.
it felt like you were setting up an attack piece.
Kind of like this. This is sort of like an attack.
Like what we're doing
But
to
I'm not
you.
pushing Mr. Moyers
I
around.
apologize for touching your jacket.
Do you want to elaborate on the claims that Bill Moyers played games with O'Reilly in the discussions to appear on his show?
No, we're good, man.
You're
Okay,
good?
so no further comment on the game playing
actually-
comment?
No, we're good.
Okay, well, we're going to edit this on the internet, unedited, in about an hour. Good. And we'll compare it to what you hear on O'Reilly. Have a good day.